live from television Nigeria right here at Guzape Hills at Sokoro in Nigeria, the Federal Capital Territory. My name is Nten Ekpang. On this program, we bring you almost everything you need to watch, need to hear, need to know as it concerns Nigeria, from fitness to education to business, of course, sports, news, and everything. It's a potpourri of all the tidbits you need to know about Nigeria, making your morning quite worth the while. My name is Ntenekwa, and I'm glad to be with you this morning. The lineup is quite interesting, and I assure you that if you give us the next 30 minutes or thereabout, you will not regret it, because we've got a lot put together for your viewing delight this morning. We will begin by taking you to the TVN Fitness Center, where Hannah is standing by, because a healthy life is a wealthy life, and when you exercise you live longer and your heart is free, and of course your bones and your nerves and joints will be very much flexible. That's what we want for you this morning, as I hand you over to Hannah, who's standing by at the TVN Fitness Center. So the second mic didn't work.
Hey guys, welcome to this wonderful episode on the program TVN Fitness Center. I'm your girl Anna Olutai, also known as Oluti. And on today's episode, I'll be taking you through full body workout. So right now, I want you to put on your fitness kits and join me as I take you through today's episode on the program. For you on TVN Fitness Center, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Your body has been relaxed enough. You've done one or two things. You follow me. There's this word, no pain, no gain. It's not compulsory that you're slim. That's when you're fit. I just want you to be fit for everything you do. And join me next time on this same program, and I will take you more on different kind of exercise. From me, Anna Olutai, also known as Oluti. Bye.
Yeah, I was just trying to do something like, Olu was doing, but the chair will not allow me to do. But I promise you, next time I'm going to come with, that exercise material in the studio. While you're doing it, I'll just be doing a video and all of that. Well, I'm sure you've learned one or two things, and pretty much so, you're going to be fitter than you used to be. Once again, thank you, Anna, for that fitness, segment. You're still watching Daybreak Nigeria, coming to you live from Television Nigeria. And of course, you know that today is the 6th of November. What do you remember? Now, there was a threat of a total shutdown of the country. The Nigerian Labour Congress had already promised that they were going to go on strike today, Tuesday. They actually did, because it was supposed to start at midnight, but sometime after midnight, we now heard that the strike has been called off. Well, the tripartite committee has promised to present two proposals, one for 24,000, one for 30,000, which is the minimum wage demanded by Labour, and some governors are saying we cannot pay 30. So that resolution is going to be presented to Mr. President today, as it were, and we are hoping that now that NLC has called off the strike and there's no shutdown of the economy anymore, we should have a strong commitment from the federal government, and of course state government say we can pay at least a minimum wage of 30,000 naira. So that's a talking point for today, but more of these and all you need to know in the news shortly. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, Eunice is standing by to tell us the latest in the world of news this morning. Stay with us.
Welcome to the AM News on Daybreak Nigeria. I am Eunice Johnson. The planned nationwide strike by the labor unions over a new minimum wage scheduled to start on Tuesday has been shelved for now. Labor leaders, government representatives and organized private sector spent hours on Monday to reach a consensus on a minimum wage, with the tripartite committee reaching a decision to convey the resolution of the meeting to President Muhammadu Buhari for onward transmission to the National Assembly. Government representatives are proposing to pay 24,000 naira as minimum wage, but the labor leaders are insisting on 30,000 naira, while the report of the meeting is expected to be submitted to President Muhammadu Buhari much later today. The president had on Monday intervened in the impasse by appealing to the labor unions, especially Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), to consider the rot his administration inherited from the previous government, explaining that his government was doing more with the fewer resources at its disposal in putting the nation's economy right. President Muhammadu Buhari Monday decried the poor condition of Nigerian roads and promised to take charge of the situation while speaking with members of the Association of Retired Career Ambassadors of Nigeria, led by Ambassador Oladapo Fafowura. Buhari blamed the poor infrastructural development to the past administration, noting that his administration would do everything possible to fix Nigeria, and also used the occasion to appreciate the People's Republic of China for financing some of the rail and power projects in the country through concessionary loans. The president took note of some concerns raised by the retired ambassadors, including an appeal for the adjustment of their pension entitlement, retention of diplomatic passports for retired career ambassadors, allocation of land for African headquarters in Abuja, and adequate funding of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, amongst others. The Independent National Electoral Commission has said that over 300,000 ineligible voters were dropped after the automatic fingerprint identification system screened out their names as part of efforts aimed at ensuring a clean voters register for the 2019 elections. The electoral body will today publish the voters register across the country. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed this yesterday in Abuja when ECOWAS pre-election fact-finding mission paid him a courtesy visit at the Commission's headquarters, where he assured them that the Commission would continue to perfect and improve its processes, delivery of logistics and functionality of technology. The INEC boss, who explaining this reason for deleting the over 300,000 names from the register, stated that a cleaning voters' registration is not just the responsibility of the Commission, but also of every Nigerian. He further revealed that based on the provision of the law, the Commission would between Tuesday, November 6th and 12th display the voters' register for claims and objections in 120,000 polling units nationwide. Food is an essential part of everyone's life. It gives the energy and nutrient to grow and develop. To that effect, food vendors converged in Abuja over the weekend to celebrate Civic Food Festival. The occasion, which is a weekly event, was organized by Civic Innovation Lab and attracted Nigerians from all walks of life. Correspondent Uchechi Lemuwa completes the report.
Non-governmental organization in Abuja, Civic Innovation Lab, recently commenced their weekly food festival called the Civic Food Festival, the aim which is to express the underlying love towards various intercontinental dishes held at the Civic Innovation Lab, Wuse Abuja. The event, which attracted food vendors from Abuja and environs, saw a display of different varieties of dishes ranging from local to continental. The essence of the event, according to the organizers, is to imbibe the culture of leisure, relaxation, and networking. Uchechi Lemowa, TVN News.
And that's the AM News. I am Eunice Johnson. Daybreak Nigeria continues shortly with intent. Do stay with us.
The question of leadership is a factor in this regard to the success of the fight against the Boko Haram terrorists. And then you look at also the factor of morale.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria. Welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak Nigeria, and we're reaching you live right here in Buzapia, Sokoro. Thanks, Eunice, for the news segment. And of course, we now know what is happening in Nigeria, especially the NLC backing down on the strike action, as it were, right? It's now time to bring you what the papers are saying. And of course, Priscilla is in the studio with all of the papers. Welcome to the show, Priscilla.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anthony.
All right, let's get down to the papers. What are they saying?
All right, good morning. This is still Daybreak Nigeria show. I am Priscilla, and this is the newspaper segment where we look at stories making the headlines in the papers. I have with me a couple of papers here, and I was starting with the Daily Trust, and the main story here, the striking story, says Labour suspends strike. Minimum wage committee submits report to Buhari today. And over the masthead, I have NNPC may sign oil swap deals with Shell, ExxonMobil official says. And that's in the page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Beside it, I have court stops Kano Assembly panel from investigating Ganduje. And that's in the page 4 of the Daily Trust. I have a picture story here, and below the picture story it says President Muhammadu Buhari inspects an exhibition stand at the 11th edition of the Nigeria 2018 conference, an exhibition in Abuja yesterday. With him are the Director General of NITDA, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, Minister of Communications, Barrister Adebayo Shitu, and others. Below the same story, I have Buhari set to receive Electoral Act for accent, and that's in the page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. For more details, get the newspaper, Daily Trust. General Alkali, court remands 19 suspects, Lalong visits family, page 4. Another one, UK Army to recruit from Nigeria, orders. Now, the striking story for me here, of course, is the Labour suspend strike. Minimum wage committee submits reports to President Buhari today. I have been doing my thinking meticulously, and I have come to realize that the organized Labour Congress, they came up with this decision, and I was wondering, despite the fact that the federal government has so many bills to pay, they have projects to take care of, the 30,000 naira minimum wage they wanted from the federal, is it too much? Is it a big deal?
Well,
Do you see it as a big deal?
For me, it wasn't much of a deal, or it's not much of a deal as it were. But federal government is saying they can pay that. It's just some of the state government that are saying we are not able to pay them and all of that. But the good thing is Labour has suspended strikes, so negotiations yielded some results yesterday morning, early hours of this morning rather, and they're going to submit the report later to Mr. President. So we're thinking that might be where we'll stand. So governors are saying 24,000 and Labour is insisting on 30,000. I'm sure that when President stands it, yeah, we'll come up with a round figure. Let's move on to the next paper. Okay,
the next paper from Blueprint. We have minimum wage. Okay, Labour backs down on nationwide strike. Okay, that's the main caption. And below we have the riders that say signs accord with federal government. Will present 24,000 naira, 30,000 naira to Buhari, Nas, Pepper. Okay. Below these, the same rider have court refuses fresh order stopping strike. Atiku calls for restraint. Above the masthead, I have PDP to federal government. Come clean on 383.2 billion naira NLNG dividends. Okay. Still above the masthead, I have why we won't probe Bindo's certificate forgery allegations. Okay. Page 15 of the Blueprint. For more details, get your copy. Blueprint. Benue killer mother Punch Sun reports escape lynching, and that's in the page 5 of the Blueprint newspaper. I have a story here, and below the picture story, it says why over 300 names were removed from voter registration, Yakubu, and that's in the page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. Below the story, below the picture story, I still have court voids suspension of 4 Imo Assembly members, page 21 of the Blueprint newspaper. Beside it, I have 2019 CSO coalition raises alarm over destabilization plan. Beside it, I still have 9 million Nigerians benefited from federal government ICT programs, Buhari, page 8 of the newspaper. Gunmen kidnap 81 mostly school children in Cameroon. Wow. Gunmen kidnap 81 mostly children in Cameroon. How do you see the, corruption? We were thinking corruption has eaten so much deeply into the fabrics of this society and just Nigerian alone, but it has extended widely to the world at large. Do you think any measure can be put in place to curb the criminal activities in the country?
Yeah, it's about the political will of governments and putting in place the right security architecture to deal with all of that. But the thing is, while gunmen kidnap people like this is because they want ransom, and that's where they get their funds to keep funding their nefarious activities and all that. So it's about stepping up security, and that will be one of the reasons why they may not have such opportunity to, kidnap exactly 81 people, as much as that as it were.
All right, okay. Quickly, let's move on. With me, I have the Leadership newspaper. And the main caption here says, respite as labor shifts planned nationwide strike. And that is in the page 4 of the Leadership newspaper. Above the masthead, I have uproar over division of 378 billion naira NLGN dividend. I have a picture here. Below the picture story, it says President Muhammadu Buhari interacting with students at an exhibition stand during the opening of the 11th edition of E-Nigeria 2018 conference and exhibition in Abuja yesterday. With him are Minister of Communication Adebayo Shitu Wright and the Director General of National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami. What do you have with you, Mr. Enten?
Well, I have the Nation's newspaper, and of course, the leading story for today, as we all know. Okay, let's wait for the technical guys to go over to the Nation's newspaper as well. Okay, thanks a lot. I have the Nation's newspaper now. Of course, the leading story that is predominantly in all of the papers is that of, the national minimum wage. And panel to propose 30,000 naira, 24,000 naira minimum wage. And the writer says Buhari to get proposal today in labor shelves planned industrial action. That story begins on the front page and continues on page 6 of the Nation's newspaper. Above the nameplate, court stops probe of Ganduje's video on page 41. 19 arraigned in just for general's murder. That's General Al-Khali. That's on page 6. Oil prices bounce as Iran sanctions begin. Page 12. And Bafana picks killer squad against Super Eagles. That's on page 47. And below the picture story, 2 million to get trader money by December. And the picture story is that of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo discussing with National Leader of APC, Bola Tinubu, and of course, Lagos State Governor Ambode Akinwumi. And those are the stories making the rounds on the Nation's newspaper this morning. I'm sure if you get that, you get details of all those stories and even more.
Okay, I have another paper from Nigerian pilots. Nigerian pilots major caption says Buhari cries out. I have riders here, says Nigerian roads, rails in deplorable condition, assures that he has big plans to fix them. Another one says regrets lost opportunity to fix them between 1999 and 2015. Another one in the rider says insists he knows condition of roads and how to fix it. Above the masthead, it says Senate vows to probe NNPC over diversion of NLNG's $1.05 billion dividends. That's on the page 6 of the Nigerian Pilot. And beside it, I have 81 people, mostly school children, kidnapped in Cameroon. And that's in the page 7 of the Nigerian Pilot. I have a picture story here, and below the picture story it says, Nigeria safer under Buhari Lai Mohammed. For more details, get a copy in the page 5, you can find that. Below the picture story still, it says, insecurity, course call for review of security architecture. And that's in the page 7. Beside it, I have ICT shows up Nigeria Q2 growth by 11.81%, Buhari. I also have it says 19 arraigned in Jos High Court over missing General Al-Khali. Court war 2 killed in a suit. Okay, and that's in the page 43 of the Nigerian Pilot. Okay, lastly, I have 2018 INEC removes over 300 names from voter registration, and that's on the page 6 of the Nigerian Pilot.
All right, and the very last paper we have is the Sporting Life. So let's do a little of sport this morning. And on the Sporting Life this morning, Ancelotti reveals tactical worries. That's ahead of the Napoli versus PSG game coming up today at 8 p.m. Tottenham versus PSG, that's for today. Ali Eriksson trained with Spurs. Uzoho joins injury list. He's out of the Bafana clash. And that story is found on page 4 of the Sporting Life this morning. Eagle Stars battle South Africa's visa procurement as Raw arrives Nigeria on Friday. Raw is Nigeria's Super Eagles coach. Theophilus Afelokai replaces injured Francis Ozo. That's on page 5. Baghdad ready to sign Koscielny, and that's on page 2. Club drops Zidane Shaqiri. That's Red Star versus Liverpool coming up today, and that story is on page 2 of the Sporting Life. And let's look at some of the stories behind the Griezmann open to Bundesliga move. That's on the back page of the Sporting Life. And Montoya, Neymar wants Barcelona return, and the Brazilian there is looking at returning to Barcelona. That's on the back page of the Sporting Life, and those are some of the stories you'll find on the Sporting Life today if you grab a copy of that newspaper. And that's about it on the newspaper review segment of Daybreak Nigeria. Great thanks to Celia. Thanks a lot for coming. I'm sure you're going to have more for us again tomorrow.
Sure, we can.
Still watching Daybreak Nigeria, coming to you live on television Nigeria. I'm in 10 FM. Let's move ahead now. Of course, coming up next is a business report, and we are all ready to talk business now.
Welcome to Business News. I am Chiwende Osisiogo. The federal government has within the last 2 years incurred a total amount of 16 billion naira as transaction costs on the Treasury single account. The Accountant General of the Federation, Amrod Idris, disclosed this on Sunday in Abuja. A statement issued by the Director of Press Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Johnson Oise, revealed that the federal government has been bearing the cost of transmission of funds into the Treasury single account and would not want to do so anymore. The statement said henceforth the federal government would no longer bear the service charge on all payment to its ministries, departments and agencies, as such costs would be borne by the payer. The Treasury single account initiative, which took off fully in September 2015, had led to the up 20,000 bank accounts, while over 8 trillion naira had been moved from banks to CBN. The Lagos State government says it has released 688 million naira to be paid to 178 retirees from the Public Service Office for the month of October 2018. In a statement, the Lagos State Governor, Akinwumi Ambode, said that the administration appreciates their services, dedication and patience and are committed to paying terminal entitlements. He stated this during the 56th bond certificate presentation in Lagos.
The governor, who was represented by the Commissioner for Establishments, Training and Pensions, Dr. Akintola Oke, said 9,982 retirees had accrued pension rights of 40.9 billion naira paid into their retirement savings accounts from 2015 to date. The Women Housing Plan Initiative has inaugurated a 500-unit housing estate in Zuba area of the Federal Capital Territory to empower women and enable them to have houses of their own in Abuja. The project, tagged Unity Hills Residents Sitting Within City, consists of 500 units of plots sitting on 30 hectares of land with land use approval from the Federal Capital Development Authority. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony of the project, the chairperson of Women Housing Plan Initiative, Hajia Binta Ibrahim, described the housing initiative for women as the first of its kind in the country. She explained that the subscribers will enjoy easy payment terms, adding that the project was meant to complement the government's efforts at providing housing for all by 2020.
Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence. Welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak Nigeria, and I am Nten. Of course, that was business, and I'm sure you've seen all of the stocks you need to buy in case you need to do some business and all of that. Let's take one step forward now as we bring you healthy living. Now, there's something very important you need to watch right now in order to make yourself a healthier person. Guess what it is? Tiana.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Healthy Living on Television Nigerian. Today we'll be looking at foods that can help you relieve stress and anxiety. What is anxiety? The dictionary meaning for anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. This disorder affects how we feel and behave and can cause physical symptoms. Mild anxiety is vague and unsettling, while serious anxiety can affect your everyday living. Stress, on the other hand, is your body's way of reacting or responding to any kind of demand or threat. When you sense danger, whether it's real or imagined, the body defenses kick into high gear in a fast automatic process known as fight or flight reaction, also known as the stress response. The stress response is known as the body's way of protecting you. But in all, feeling overwhelmed by life and work is normal. Nevertheless, it could escalate into something more serious. Let's look at some foods and beverages that have been scientifically proven to reduce stress and anxiety. We have avocado. Avocados are known to be rich in B vitamins for healthy nerves and brain cells. The feeling of anxiety may be rooted in a B vitamin deficiency. Avocado is therefore known to be a remedy. The presence of high monounsaturated fats and potassium helps in lowering blood pressure. Next time stress comes knocking on your door, opt for a smoothie avocado blended with ripe banana, vanilla extract or nut milk. Freeze it, then chill out. Blueberries. Blueberries may seem small, but because of its rich nature in vitamin C and antioxidants, it's known to have stress boosters. When one is stressed, the body needs vitamin C and antioxidants to help repair and protect cells. You can try blueberry on a high fiber cereal or 7 yogurt. Thank me later. Milk. A high glass of warm milk before bed is a time-tested remedy for insomnia and fidgetiness. Milk contains proteins, calcium, antioxidants, vitamin B2 and B12, as well as potassium. The protein lactum has a calming effect by lowering blood pressure, while the potassium in milk can also help relieve muscle spasms triggered by feeling tensed. Almonds. Almonds are rich in vitamin B2 and E. Both of these nutrients help boost the immune system during stress. Just a quarter cup of almond does the trick. Get yourself some stress-relieving munching almonds. Oranges. Oranges contain vitamin, which is another vitamin known to lower blood pressure and the stress hormone cortisol. For a quick boost of vitamin, simply eat a whole or drink a freshly squeezed orange juice without added sugar. Go with the purely orange. Salmon. Put more fish on your dish to help you feel at ease. A diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids help keep cortisol and adrenaline from spiking when you are feeling tense. Salmon is one of the very best sources of omega-3s. They protect your heart when those stress hormones are surging. Turkey. Amino acids and tryptophans are found in turkey. Tryptophan signals the brain to release the feel-good chemical serotonin, which promotes calmness and even tiredness. That sleepy feeling you get after eating turkey is due to the amino acid tryptophan found in the turkey. Turmeric. Turmeric has a vast health benefit in promoting brain health, and preventing anxiety isn't left out. Its calming contents, a compound with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties, are known to elevate anxiety symptoms. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate contains flavonols, which are antioxidants that benefit the brain function. They also improve blood flow to the brain and promote its ability to adapt to stress situations. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is another food that helps get the calm-inducing hormone serotonin. Coarse oats are high in fiber and help to get serotonin, a calm-inducing hormone. I leave you with this: eat to live, not live to eat. We have come to the end of today's episode of Healthy Living. Until I come your way again next time, stay healthy and stay safe. I am Diana Ojua. Keep watching Television Nigerian.
Yeah, welcome back, and thank you very much, Diana Ojua, with Healthy Living segment. We move ahead now. When you live healthy, you can afford to do some, kind of stylish kind of life. You can afford to do some artistic stuff because you're healthy and all of that. That's why I'm going to introduce you to the next segment, which is Art, Life, and Style. And Uchechi Lamoa is taking us to something pretty much interesting. Find out from Uchechi.
According to Wikipedia, photography is the art, application, and
practice of creative durable images by recording light or other electronically means of an image sensor or chemically means of a light-sensitive material such as photographic film. Well, photographers in Abuja recently converged at Center for Exhibition Abuja in an exhibition which attracted people from all walks of life who savored the beauty of the art of photography. As Life and Style was also there.
Side by side, so that people will be encouraged to take on into photography. Photography is one of those things that people overlook. They think is for only dropout, but now even graduates, master degree holders are also into photography, and
but then photography in simple summary is a visual interpretation of your immediate environment, this part of the world. When anybody decides to jump into photography, first thing they look at is event photography, especially weddings, because they think and believe that's where the money comes from. But there are other genres of photography that you can as well make money from.
Oh, photography is life to me. Photography is everything to me. Without photography, I always look for a medium where I can, tell a story. So with photography, I do that.
What we want to achieve with the exhibition and in general the photo festival is actually to create an industry platform where we get to meet as photographers and photo lovers, share ideas, network, and see how we inspire one another to be better at communicating who we are as Africans.
Where you can agree with me now that actually photography is an art and money spinner. So when next you are looking for a vocation or just a little extra means of putting money in your pocket, think photography. That's the size of our package today on Arts, Life and Style. I am Uchechi Lemowa. Stay tuned for a fresh and exciting edition tomorrow. See you then.
You're welcome to the entertainment segment on Daybreak Nigeria. Now, Runtown has come out to deny the allegations leveled against him by an American of fraud. In a statement released by the singer's management team, the allegations leveled against the music star are all lies. According to them, they have contacted the necessary security agencies to arrest those involved in using the singer's name to commit fraud. Our attention has been drawn to the reports circulating on social media by a US-based woman named Sean Wren accusing our artist Runtown of fraud. It is all lies and an attempt to blackmail and tarnish our image. We have contacted the Nigerian security agencies, including the DSS and EFCC, who are all on the matter at the moment, and preliminary investigations already reveals that it is a group of imposters who may have duped Sean Wren using Runtown's name. Now, Runtown has never and will never defraud anyone, the statement read. You've heard it now, guys. Runtown says he has nothing to do with the woman who claims she was defrauded by him. Now, moving on, Mai Atafo is presently counting his losses as a result of the fire which gutted his fashion house in Lagos. The sad event, which took place on Saturday, November 12, 2018, saw the fashion stylist lose 7 of his industrial sewing machines, Also destroyed by the fire were fashion materials in the premises. The fashion icon took to his Instagram page on Monday, November 5th, 2018, where he shared photos from the scene of the fire incident. According to him, he lost 7 industrial machines, 5 industrial irons, and a lot of clothes. Saturday, November 3rd, 2018 will remain a dark day for my Atafo following the fire incident that engulfed his fashion house. I'm so sorry, Maya. You'll get over it, I promise you. Now moving on, Toyin Ayimako's ex-Seun Egbegbe appeared in court on Monday, November 5, 2018, after spending 20 months in jail following theft allegations. His inability to pay a 5 million naira bail fee has kept him behind the walls of the prison for over a year now. It will be recalled that Seun Egbegbe was rearranged alongside his accomplice Onyekon Ayomide at the Federal High Court in Lagos on April 3, 2017 for the 3rd time. The duo were accused of defrauding some Bureau de Change operators in different operations involving 39,098,100 naira, $90,000 and £12,550. Now this is coming on the heels of his previous arraignment before Justice Oluremi Oguntoyibo of the Federal High Court in Lagos on 40 counts. They were rearranged following the amendment of the charges by the police. The police reintroduced the names of the 3 others as defendants in the case. The defendants include Lawal Karim, Olalekan Yusuf, and Muyudeen Shoyombo. They were all accused of swindling more than 30 Bureau de Change operators in Lagos of various sums between 2015 and 2017. Seun Egbegbe, a filmmaker, was in a relationship with Toyin Ayimako a few years ago. Now, the relationship, however, ended in a controversial manner. Now, in a recent interview, Toyin Ayimako's ex-husband, Adeniyi Johnson, revealed that she was dating Seun Egbegbe while they were still married. And this will be the 4th time Seun Egbegbe will be rearraigned before the court after spending more than 1 year behind bars. If you ask my opinion about things, I'll just say let justice take its course. That's it on entertainment segment for Daybreak Nigeria. Don't go anywhere. Daybreak continues shortly. I am Ginika Tasiri. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much, the Ginika Tasiri. If you ask me, Ginika and entertainment, 5 and 6. Thanks a lot for that. We'll definitely join you again tomorrow for a fresh one. All right, let's move on now to the very last segment for today. Is what I know you can guess. What's that? The sports. All right, let's do some sporting stuff with Emmanuel Idoko. Let's join him now.
Welcome to TVN Sports Updates. Bafana of South Africa faced a major crisis injury ahead of the 2019 African Cup of Nations qualifying fixture against the Super Eagles, with several of their top stars doubtful for the clash due to fitness concerns. France-based duo Bongani Zungu and Keegan Dolly, as well as home-based stars Dean Foreman, Bradley, Grobler and Sibusiso Vilkazi are all doubtful for the Bafana game due to injuries, according to reports in South African press. Komohelo Motkeji, who plays for English Championship club Brentford, has already been ruled out of the all-important clash against the Super Eagles after he sustained the injury in Brentford's penultimate league clash against Norwich City, which they lost 1-0. Nigeria are top of the standings, 1 point ahead, while Libya are on 4 points and Seychelles sit at the bottom with just 1 point. Elche's Nigeria shortstopper Francis Uzoho conceded 5 goals against Cadiz, who completed a stunning 5-1 victory in Sunday's Spanish Segunda League clash. The Nigerian international, who had kept 2 clean sheets in the league prior to Sunday's defeat, was beaten 5 times in the second half of the encounter. Sori Kaba had shot the visitors Elche into the lead in the 9th minute, but goals from Roberto Correa, Dejan Lekic, Jose Mari, Xavier Sanchez and Manuel Vallejo handed Uzoho's team their 4th defeat of the season. Uzoho is Nigeria's first choice keeper ahead of the AFCON qualifier against South Africa. On loan Everton forward Henry Onyekuru had a very good game for his loan side Galatasaray in their 2-2 draw against bitter rivals Fenerbahce in the Turkish Super League. Onyekuru was handed a start after shaking off the injury that has kept him on the sideline for 2 weeks, and he was a thorn in the flesh of the defense of Fenerbahce. He missed a clear chance to put his chance 2 up when he dragged a shot wide in the 42nd minute after one of his clever runs, backed with tricks, set him through on goal. Newcastle United recorded their first Premiership League win of the season with a 1-0 win against Watford at St James Park. The Hornets, who had won their last 2 matches ahead of the trip up north, had the better of the first half chances, although their wastefulness in the final third stopped them from going ahead at the break. Defender Adrian Mirapa's header was cleared off the line by Jamal Leches before the Jamaican international then skilled an effort wide from 7 yards out when the ball ended up back at his feet. Karen Khachanov, the Russian #1 player, won the greatest trophy of his career, beating Novak Djokovic in a 2 straight sets 7-5, 6-4 to claim the Paris Masters title. It was the first Masters title to be won by the 22-year-old Russian and his 3rd ATP title this year. His 4th ATP title was won in Shenzhen, China in 2016. This year, he won the Kremlin Cup and Marseille tournament in France. Khachanov ranked number 18, beat generation player Dominic Thiem in the semi-final to play his first Masters final. The same day, Novak Djokovic booked a final ticket, beating old rival Roger Federer in 3 straight sets. The nearest he got was at the Canadian Open this year when he was dispatched by Rafael Nadal in the semi-final. The Russian player, who named Marat Safin, a former Russian tennis star, as his hero and inspiration, was born in Moscow on the 21st of May, 1996. That is Steven's Sports Update, and I leave you with results of matches played last weekend at the English Premier League. Thanks for watching. I am Idoko Emmanuel.
With the sports, my only worry is our goalkeeper, conceding 5 goals in 1 half, and you're going to be our goalkeeper in the next 5 goals match. But please reduce it so we don't carry 5 goals back home. Well, I know we won't do that either. That's been it on Daybreak Nigeria. I'm sure you enjoyed every bit of it. Well, if you did not, I'll show you that tomorrow when you join us, it's going to be just off the hook. On behalf of all members of the team, both frontline and offline and behind the scene, I'd like to say thank you very much to you all. You did a fantastic job putting this together. We'll be back same time tomorrow with more on Daybreak Nigeria. Until then, do enjoy the rest of our program. My name is Nten Ekbang. Bye-bye. This is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TV and Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seat and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NigComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries, Television Nigerian, broadcast beyond boundaries.
Thank you.